We got a few different flavors of these ramen noodles that look really interesting. These are the braised beef, the sweet chili toragashi, I'm assuming that's how you say it, and the roasted chicken. I'm interested to see what these look like dry, and it seems like these are the kind of ones you would just fill with water, put in the microwave, and cook it. And that's pretty unique that you've got some, looks like different kinds of vegetables. That'll add flavor. This is the sweet chili toragashi. I probably am saying that wrong. That looks really good. And the beef flavor. And it says you don't want to pull the whole lid off just so you can fill this with hot water and then close the lid again, and it'll warm up the noodles and make them soft. We'll fill this up with hot water up to the fill line, which is just a little bit past there. Right there. You can actually see the fill line on the outside of the cup. That's where it is on the inside. Since I took the lid the whole way off on this one, I'm just gonna set a plate on top of it to keep the moisture in. These lids don't stay down very well, so I'm just gonna put a plate on all of them to put the weight. Let's take some of these plates off, and you can see the noodles really expanded up from there. That's what you wanna see. Pretty excited to see how these compare to some other ramen noodles I've had. I'm expecting this one to be a little bit less flavorful than these two. These two, I'm thinking especially this one, which is the chili one. I think that one's gonna have the most amount of flavor, and then this one's gonna be closer to like your standard chicken flavored ramen. Now there's not that much flavor in this one, as I would have expected more, and I'm wondering if it's due that there's too much water in here. I filled it to the fill line and I let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes, but there's still a lot of water in there, and I think that water is gonna hold a lot of the flavor. So maybe if I were to do these again, I would add less water than the fill line. Just something noted. Stir this one and try it, and you can see it might have that same problem. Like, the water there is really colored, so the water has a lot of flavor in it, and I think you might be maybe missing out on some of that flavor that's in the water, not in the noodles. I'd say there's kind of the same thing here, where it's not as strong of a flavor as I would like, which is a little disappointing. Now we'll try the last one, which is the beef flavor. And, you know, there's the same problem here. So what I'm gonna try, I think this might work, is if I put this into like a small saucepan and cook it and boil off some of the water, that flavoring hopefully will go into the noodles, and then the water will just evaporate. The smell almost reminds me of tea. Now we've got a good amount of that water boiled out. There's just a little bit at the bottom. I'm gonna put this back in the cup. Let's give this a try now. So that's definitely more flavorful, but I think at this point it might be down more to a matter of preference. I think I prefer, like, you know, your standard cheap ramen noodles, like the chicken flavor, I think is probably one of the most classics, and then I think personally I like the chili flavor over that, but I think I like the simplicity of that more. I personally prefer that over this, but I think this tastes more traditional to me. Like, the flavor of it, the texture of the noodles is different. I would say I would almost compare it to a kind of cheese, that the noodles, not the stretchy kind, but the texture of it. And I think the flavoring is a bit more traditional also, with some of the different vegetables in there. So I think at this point it's sort of a matter of preference. Like, it's not bad in my opinion, but I think I prefer the other kind over this.